Trace the neon, watch the crimson liquid stain. Paint the concrete, bleed the shadow in the rain. The boulevard is breathing, but the traffic has decayed. Just a solitary sax in the cinematic shade. Unbinding all the wiring, the hustle and the rush. Washing off the daytime, fading into velvet plush. A silhouette of geometry, an architectural ghost. Dancing with the silence when the city hurts the most. Lights are blinking, but the intersection's free. Spilling golden violet on the solitary streets. Just drifting, just shifting. This is the silent cinema, the midnight boulevard, where the ghosts of the metropolis are dropping their guard. Stitching up the narrative, measure by blue measure. In the hollow of the dark, finding instrumental treasure. Rise and sway, fade away. Here in the matrix where the neon outlines blur, playing back the memories of who we really were. Exhale the heavy traffic, inhale the quiet street. Underneath the overpass, the echoes find the beat. The billboard is a monument, staring at the square. I don't need to hurry tonight, I'm floating in the air. Gravity is liquid when you're swimming in the sound. No longer checking mirrors for the shadows on the ground. Let the brass translate the things the language could have defined. Mending all the fractures in the corners of the mind. It's all just smoke. That I took the year before, drowning out the sirens, screaming at the kitchen door. No lyrics are required when the frequency is clear. The music tells the story that the spirit needs to hear. We're sorry. We're boring. This is the silent cinema, the midnight boulevard, where the ghosts of the metropolis are dropping their guard. Stitching up the narrative, measure by blue measure. In the hollow of the dark, finding instrumental treasure. Rise and sway, fade away. This isn't an ending, it's a place to restart. Letting the midnight wash the canvas of the heart. Asleep. velvet shadows bleed, trading what they wanted for the silence that I need. The city is a siren, but I've choked the copper wire. Just a solitary ghost, sipping smoke beside the fire, unleashing all the logic, stripping off the outer skin. Where the curated persona ends, the midnight can begin. I'm a galaxy of fragments, I'm a beautifully undone, counting down the hours till the coming of the sun. The clock is losing friction and the seconds liquefy, no longer selling answers to the questions who and why. Just floating, just gloaming. Welcome to the sanctuary, welcome to the room where the wreckage of the morning is buried in the gloom. Weaving up the spirit with the silver threaded stitch, in the hollow of the solo I am realizing I'm rich. Safe and slow, let it go. Drifting in the static where the heavy edges blur, reacquainting with the creature that I originally were. Exhale the expectations, inhale the holy mess. Underneath the heavy armor is a vulnerable yes. The ego's on the nightstand, just an empty plastic cast. I don't need to hold the future, I don't need to fix the past. Gravity's a luxury when sinking through the floor. I'm oblivious to wolves knocking at my heavy door. Let the static translate what the language couldn't say. I am melting all the frozen parts before the break of day. It's all just smoke.
I used to chase, washing off the makeup in the marketplace. Grimace, no mirrors are required when you're looking from within. The spirit doesn't care about the trophies that you win.
We're just
shifting,
we're just
drifting. Welcome to the sanctuary, welcome to the room where the wreckage of the morning is buried in the gloom. Weaving up the spirit with a silver threaded stitch, in the hollow of the solo I am realizing I'm rich. Safe and slow, let it go.
This isn't where it ends, it's the cradle to commence. Watching moonlight write its poetry across the wooden fence. The city is asleep,
the psyche is at peace. Breathe out.
Spin the track, lock out the modern, let the walnut shadows bind. Leave the digital exhaustion and the deadlines far behind. The dial is spinning, but I've frozen every clock. Just Hemingway and whiskey while the heavy doors lock. I'm decoding all the syntax, the prose of yesterday, washing off the shallow talk, dissolving into gray. I'm a monologue of ink stains lungs, a vintage leather spine, finally quiet, drinking knowledge like a wine. The ink is dripping dry, but the chapters never close. I've got no vanity to shield, no public posture to expose. Just reading, just bleeding. This is my sanctuary, my mahogany den, where the ghosts of the morning never bother me again. Mending up the logic, rhyme by heavy rhyme in the scratch of the vinyl. I am stepping out of time, safe and sound, lost and found. Here in the study where the neon borders blur, I'm returning to the classic that I originally were. Exhale the current and inhale the antique. Underneath the surface there's a truth we never speak. The watch is on the desk, taking blindly at the space. I don't need a mirror to examine my own face. Gravity is heavy when you're sinking in the chair. I cannot hear the sirens through the thick vintage air. Let the trumpet translate what the modern cannot say. I'll patch up the philosophy before the break of day. It's all just ink. I'm forgiving every error from the pages of the past, burning down the shadows that the clever illusions cast. No audience is looking when you're closing up the book. The soul doesn't care for how the outer layers look. We're just drifting, we're just sifting. This is my sanctuary, my mahogany den, where the ghosts of the morning never bother me again. Mending up the logic, rhyme by heavy rhyme in the scratch of the vinyl. I am stepping out of time, safe and sound, lost and found. This isn't an ending, it's a place to find the source, letting the black and white movie run its natural course. The world is asleep, the mind is at peace. Rest now, rest now.
Floating, look down. Floors above the friction, standing on the ledge of night. Neon capillaries bleed in streams of hyper-colored light. The wind is swallowing the gossip, stripping down the heavy air. I'm a ghost among the high rises, uncombing all my daily care. Toy cars racing down below me, tiny lives in silver lanes. Existential mathematics washing out the phantom pains. I am detached from the momentum, suspended in a cosmic breeze, watching all the giants shiver, watching urban empires freeze. The horizon is a liquid line, detached and high. We are writing secret poetry across the neon tinted sky. Let it blow, let it go. Let it go. Here atop the concrete jungle, everything is small and sweet. I can feel the universe colliding right beneath my feet. Staring at the constellations made of glass and steel designs. Sipping on the cold detachment, drinking down the night like wine. The world is screaming at the bottom, but up here it's just a hum. Waiting for the morning sickness, waiting for the dawn to come. Existential poetry is dripping from my open hands. Walking over boundaries, dissolving all our rigid plans. The terrace is a lonely island floating in a sea of gray. We are burning up the memories before they turn to day. It's a dream supreme. Definitions assigned to my regular name. Up here the rules are holographic, a beautifully discarded game. No looking back to find the pieces, no looking out to see the fall. When you are blending with the ether, you don't feel so small at all. We're just blowing, 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 blowing. We are dancing on the edge of town, leaning on the atmosphere, where the gravity is broken and the heavy shadows disappear. Elevated isolation, beautifully detached and high. We are writing secret poetry across the neon tinted sky. Let it go, let it go. This isn't just an observation, it's a temporary release. At least, letting the cold high altitude wind grant the spirit peace. Streets are fading, stars are waiting. Look up, look up. Look up. Let the rain wash. Cancel the morning, I'm putting the calendar on hold. Wrap my skeleton in oversized cotton and oversized gold. The blueprint of tomorrow is dissolving on the kitchen floor. I don't care about the deadlines knocking at my heavy wooden door. Look at the window, the droplets are tracing a neon lane, writing the script of a beautiful, melancholy kind of pain. The world is a factory spinning a web of endless noise, but inside this blue cocoon I'm reclaiming my quiet poise. The clock is bleeding hours, but the gears are completely numb. I'm listening to the rhythm that the water in the glass hum. Just stalling, just falling. This is my Blu-ray sanctuary, my midnight frame, where the ghosts of my ambition musicians don't even know my name. Trading my armor for a sweater that's worn and frayed. In the shadow of the curtain, the debts of the day are paid. Let the glass blur, let the mind purr. Hearing the static of the shower, the borders are thin. I'm letting the compromise with the world finally begin.
The alarm is a liar, the routine is a velvet trap. I'm rewriting the chord and they burning the entire map. Cotton-bound posture, staring at the ceiling's cracks. The universe can wait while my heavy spine unpacks. The raindrops of jazz musicians improvising on the roof of my survival. This lazy silence is the ultimate proof. I gave the world my daytime, gave them every ounce of sweat. Now I'm collecting the peace that the city hasn't stolen yet.
It's fine to yield.
The blues are healed.
To the darkness, making peace with the gray, shaking hands with the regrets that I couldn't push away. Perfect is a currency that I no longer wish to spend. I'd rather be a broken circle that's learning how to bend.
We're just blending,
we're just ending. This is my blue rain sanctuary, my midnight frame, where the ghost of my ambitions don't even know my name. Trading my armor for a sweater that's worn and frayed. In the shadow of the curtain, the debts of the day are paid. Let the glass burn, let the mind burn. This isn't a surrender, it's a gentle place to hide. Watching the watercolor world dripping on the outside.
let it pour.
Let it pour. Let it pour. Yeah. Look at me. Shadow stretching tall, dancing on the mahogany wall. Let the velvet curtains drop, let the heavy silence fall. Tracing out your architecture with a slow and steady hand. We don't need a map for territory we already understand. Rose petals bleeding crimson on the edge of the design. Tasting all your secrets through a drop of vintage wine. Skin against the satin texture, losing all my gravity. Surrendering the ego to your private anatomy. The candle flame is shivering, reacting to your every sigh. We're rewriting the laws of time beneath this amber-tinted sky. Just melting, just yielding. Locked in inside the slow motion of your midnight paradigm, where the pulse is getting sticky and we're stealing away time. Crimson gravity pulling on the fibers of my chest. Lay your heavy armor down and let your weary spirit rest. Sip the glow, deep and slow. Here before the fireplace, the world is just a phantom spark. We are writing sacred scriptures on the canvas of the dark. Magnetic conversation flowing through the heat of your skin, losing track of where I end and where your borders begin. The fireplace is whispering a confidential theme. We're waking up the magic from a long forgotten dream. Every touch, a syllable, a dangerous vocabulary, turning all this luxury into something legendary. The room is breathing heavy, wearing nothing but the fire. An elegant design of pure, unadulterated desire. It's you all is clean. You're the only masterpiece that I have ever seen. We're burning, still yearning, dark inside the slow motion of your midnight paradigm, where the pulse is getting sticky and we're stealing away time. Crimson gravity pulling on the fibers of my chest. Lay your heavy armor down and let your weary spirit rest. Sip the glow, deep and slow. This isn't just a fantasy, it's where the truth begins. Letting all the firelight settle underneath our skin. The embers are dying, the spirits are flying. Come closer.
Yeah, 4 a.m. Hit the ignition, let the overpass slide, leaving the friction of the city behind. The skyline is sleeping, but my engine is loud, cruising the concrete far away from the crowd. I'm cutting the anchors, throwing out the old weight, racing the shadows to the interstate gate. I'm a pilot of asphalt, a king of the cruise, with nothing to answer and nothing to lose. The dashboard is glowing while the grid turns to gray, shaking the static from a broken yesterday. Just speeding, just fleeing. This is my overpass, my highway cruise, where the ghost of the city is a thing I can lose. Chasing the borderline, mile after mile, under the street lights, I can finally smile. Out of the dark, ignite the spark. Ignite the spark. Here on the freeway where the memories fade, I'm breaking the patterns that the city had made. Exhale the heavy, inhale inhale the cool breeze, gliding past billboards and the skeletal trees. The rearview is empty, just a blur in the night. I don't need a map when I am heading for light. Gravity dissolving as the down it climbs, leaving the worries of the old paradigm. Let the exhaust pipe scream the words I suppressed. I'm driving till dawn satisfies the unrest. It's all just dust. Version of me stuck in the grid, blasting the music like I did as a kid. No looking back when the horizon is clear. The engine is singing what I needed to hear. We're just tracking, we're just mapping. This is my overpass, my highway cruise, where the ghost of the city is a thing I can't lose. Yeah, chasing the borderline, mile after mile under the street lights. I can finally smile out of the dark. Ignite the spark. This isn't a runaway, it's a place to arrive. Watching the sunrise, proof that I am alive. The city is gone, the dawn is mine. Drive on. Pour it heavy, let the city bleed. Amber liquid spinning, sailing on a peninsula of glass. Watching neon reflections bleed through the puddles as they pass. The rain is painting static on the outlines of the pier. We drown out all the gravity until the borders disappear. Ice cubes slowly melting, drinking down our adult calculation. Trading heavy dialogue for silent velvet contemplation. A sophisticated rhythm pulsing from the fireplace glow. We don't need to chase a spark when we can watch the embers blow. The clock is losing structure while the night begins to bend. We are writing complex poetry with formal definitions and just coasting, slowly boasting. Lost within the harbor of this liquid amber dream, where reality is floating like a slow motion stream. Understated romance tucked behind a shield of deep control, letting the warm low fidelity heal the fracture in the soul. Sip the night in the light, here within the shadows of a mature and quiet place. We are leaving footprints that the morning won't erase. sophisticated cynics dropping armor by the heart, finding hidden sanctuaries on this hyper-crowded earth. The city's bleeding crimson through the tinted window frame. We don't need an explanation, we don't need a specific name. Heartbeat syncopating with the crackle of the wood, understanding silences that never could be understood. The evening wears a luxury of unhurried design, an unspoken architecture built of smoke and golden wine. It's a vibe so clean. Forgiving all the promises the daylight made me break, drowning out the heavy noise for my sanity's sake. No mirrors are required when you look through amber tint. The soul is reading meanings in a shadow or a hint. We're just sailing, night is failing, lost within the harbor of this liquid amber dream, where reality is floating like a slow-motion stream. Understated romance tucked behind a shield of deep control, letting the warm glow fidelity heal the fracture in the soul. Sip the night and the light. This isn't an escape route, it's a temporary truce, letting the tension of the adult world unravel and unloose. The ice has completely gone. The storm is moving on. Rest your head.
Get the frequency. Capture the chrome, catch the celluloid gleam, developing the negatives of a retro future dream. The midnight frequency is humming through the air. We're broadcasting nostalgia to the dreamers everywhere. Unwinding all the tapes, spinning vintage gold, chasing down the stories that the late night airwaves told. I'm a neon tinted snapshot, a loop of analog grace, sailing through the cosmos while I intercept the space. The dial is rotating, but the signal stays the same. We're writing modern poems in a vintage picture frame, just grooving, just moving. This is my time machine, my cassette highway, where the colors of the future never wash away to gray. Stitching up the aesthetic track by dynamic track, cruising through the city lights, never looking back. True and tight, fly by night, lost inside the rhythm where the modern borders blur, reinventing romance like we originally were. Exhale the simulation, inhale the real vibe, cruising past the high rise with the retro futurist drive. The lenses on the dashboard, snapping pictures of the dash. We don't need a map when we can see the comet flash. Gravity is spinning when you're riding on the sound, lifting all the analog aesthetics off the ground. Let the trumpet translate what the lyrics can't define. I'll mix the city pop inside this soul of mine. It's all just chrome. drowning out the chatter of the digital frontier. No satellite is needed when the groove is in your soul. The frequencies align to make the broken pieces whole. We're just gliding, we're just riding. This is my time machine, my cassette highway, where the colors of the future never wash away to gray. Stitching up the aesthetic track by dynamic track, cruising through the city lights, never looking back. True and tight, fly by night. This isn't just a fantasy, it's a lifestyle to declare. Breathing in the rhythm of the cinematic air. The transmission ends, the tape runs out. Click, play, go. Click, play. Click, play, go. Click, play, go. Click, play. Time dissolves in the liquid lines, sliding down the white terrace stone. Leave the noisy grid behind, finding home in being alone. The afternoon is bleeding out, yielding to a quiet gray, washing all the heavy text and unnecessary words away. Shadows trace a geometric dance upon the clean gallery wall, listening to the micro drops as they gracefully start to fall. A luxury of empty space, an absolute premium of peace, watching every artificial expectation gracefully decrease. No clock is ticking in the room, the hours bend and start to sway. We are melting into intervals where the ego fades away, just tracing, slowly erasing. Drifting in a universe where the silence is a sacred song, where the lines of gravity are beautifully undone and gone. A monochromatic sanctuary built of mist and silver thread, curing every phantom worry spinning inside the heavy head. Let it blur, let it purr. Here before the open window, the world is just an abstract scene, resting in the pristine valleys of the spaces right in between. Raindrops keep imperfect score on the edge of the wooden deck, erasing every heavy debt and the vanity on my neck. The house is breathing entirely pure, inhaling the damp coastal air. We don't need an audience to prove that we are standing there. A conscious choice of white noise, a beautifully curated blank, stepping off the wheel of gold, leaving the competitive bank. The calendar is empty now, stripped of every urgent design, an immaculate architecture of stillness, entirely mine. Pure space, white grace. completely clean. The spirit understands the light that is flickering unseen. Time slows, wind blows, drifting in a universe where the silence is a sacred song, where the lines of gravity are beautifully undone and gone. A monochromatic sanctuary built of mist and silver thread, curing every phantom worry spinning inside the heavy head. Let it blur, let it burn. This isn't an ending, no. It's a canvas where the clear mind grows, letting the gentle ambient waltz wash away our daily prose. The mind is clear, the space is here. Unzip the corporate blazer, let the silk dress glide, leaving the boardrooms and the spreadsheets outside. The penthouse view is open, watch the daylight drown. A million neon stars waking up across the town, unwinding all the tension of the executive grind, washing off the deadlines, leaving metrics behind. I'm a masterpiece of hustle in the casual frame, swapping out the strategy to play a different game. The elevator's locked and the glass walls glow, watching 20,000 cars moving down below. Just chillin', just healing. This is my lounge room, my twilight zone, where the matrix of the morning leaves my spirit alone. Switching up the lifestyle, stitched by golden stitch in the casual environment I find where I'm rich. Pour it up, live it up. Here in the high-rise where the worries blur, I'm becoming the executive I actually were. Exhale the paperwork, inhale the luxury. Underneath the surface I am living wild and free. The high heels are discarded, grinning by the door. I don't need to pitch tonight, I'm pacing on the floor. Gravity is sexy when you're watching sunset sky. I'm ignoring every notification flashing by. Let the record player translate what the words cannot say. I'll toast to the horizons at the end of the day. It's all just gold.
Rewriting my agenda from the hustle of the week, finding premium comfort in the silence that we seek. No status updates needed when you're sipping on the view. The skyline doesn't care if your credentials are new.
We're just shifting,
we're just
drifting. This is my lounge room, my twilight zone, where the matrix of the morning leaves my spirit alone. Switching up the lifestyle, stitched by golden stitch in the casual environment I find where I'm rich. Pour it up, live it up. This isn't an ending, it's a place to reset. Letting the city lights tell me what to forget. The mind is aligning, relax. Unplug the matrix, kill the digital blue screen. Step out of the theater, vanish from the routine scene. The notifications can freeze, let the algorithms blind. I'm unplugging the wires running deep inside my mind. No more applause to chase, no more performance to give. Just a breathing anatomy, learning how to quietly live. The city is an ocean of concrete, but up here it's a nest. A confidential pocket where the running thoughts can rest. The midnight hour is a velvet glove holding my shaking hand, erasing all the complicated blueprints that I previously planned. Just sinking deeply, blinking. This is my midnight anchor, my absolute quiet space, where the speed of the modern world can't dictate my running pace. Reclaiming my private spirit, heartbeat by slow heartbeats, while the rest of the manic island is asleep beneath the street, safe and still. Let it fill. Lost in the open frequency where the heavy burdens fade, resting inside the sanctuary that the holy darkness made. Exhale the heavy armor, inhale the quiet peace, watching the artificial pressure of the day decrease. The mirror on the cabinet isn't demanding a pristine look. I'm closing the heavy volume of an overwritten book. Gravity is a gentle cradle when you melt into the bed, silencing the internal critics yelling loud inside the head. Let the shadows translate the things I am too tired to speak, gathering a soft momentum for the coming of the week. It's okay to fade. Forgiving the version of me that stumbled through the light, draping a heavy blanket over the ghost of the night. No navigation required when you are closing your eyes. The soul is letting go of the clever daily disguise. We're just healing, softly feeling. This is my midnight anchor, my absolute quiet space, where the speed of the modern world can't dictate my running pace. Reclaiming my private spirit, heartbeat by slow heartbeat, while the rest of the manic island is asleep beneath the street, safe and still. Let it fill. A place for the light to pour, letting our midnight medication make the burning spirit cool. The mind is turning off. The mind is turning off.
Drop the needle. Exposed brickwork catching the flicker of a dying neon spark. Rust on the iron beams, we are chasing aesthetics in the dark. This old leather jacket smells like cigarettes in retro design. The turntable spinning, cutting grooves into the fabric of time. We built an altar out of scrap metal and forgotten industry. trading the textbook definitions for a raw, unscripted poetry. The concrete is bleeding the ghosts of a blue-collar past. We are the architects of the temporary, making the wreckage last. The gears are rusted, but the rhythm is running through the floor. I got no blueprint to follow, and I ain't keeping score. Just grinding, gears binding. This is my iron foundry, my late-night vintage escape, where the shadows of the machinery take on a beautiful shape. Patching up the broken pieces, layer by analog layer. In the dust of the industrial attic, I found my only prayer. Rough edges, no pledges. Here in the warehouse, the corporate kingdom is a total blur. I'm falling back into the rebellious bastard that I actually were. Inhale the gasoline, exhale the synthetic and polite. Underneath the scaffolding, we are reclaiming the night. The blueprints are scattered unread on the workshop bench, fixing our broken philosophies with the rusted pipe wrench. Metropolitan scrapbooking, high ceilings and low-life art. We are welding the pieces of a fragmented mechanical heart. Let the record skip over the things that we shouldn't reveal. I forge a brand new paradigm out of cold industrial steel. It's all just grease. We're just drifting, gears shifting. This is my iron foundry, my late-night vintage escape, where the shadows of the machinery take on a beautiful shape. Patching up the broken pieces, layer by analog layer. In the dust of the industrial attic, I found my only prayer. Rough edges, no pledges. This isn't an ending, it's a blueprint we tore right apart. Letting the heavy industrial noise kickstart the soul of our The factory is closed. The record is done. The factory is closed. The record is done. Kill the power.
Right on schedule. Right on schedule. 50 floors above the concrete, standing on the helipad, trading corporate semantics for the rhythm that we had. The elevator elevator whispers secrets as it cuts the evening air. We're locking eyes across the ice cubes without a single care. Dom Perignon rising, a vertical line of gold, a sophisticated language that the textbooks never told. A little bit of business, a little bit of play, melting down the structure of the artificial day. The skyline is a neon grid, but we are off the chart. A calculated encounter that we're turning into art. Just bubbling, 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 just doubling. Meet me in the upper deck where possibilities collide. We've got that high-rise energy with nowhere left to hide. A little touch of deep house, a soulful trumpet fly. In the luxury of shadows, we own the urban night. Dopamine rise, open your eyes. Dopamine rise. Here in the lounge, the matrix is a blur. I'm becoming the executive I always wished I were. Business cards are useless when the sub-bass starts to throb. We're bypassing the gatekeepers, it's an inside job. The panoramic window show a multi-million view, but my focus is locked in on the silhouette of you. Proximity is elegant when the boundaries are clear. A safe space, social circle where the static cannot steer. Let the clean guitar translate the things we shouldn't name, while we play this penthouse puzzle like a calculated game. It's all vibe. Business talk is dead. Let's talk about the million ideas running through your head. No signatures needed when a handshake is a glance. The city looks much better when you give the night a chance. We're just scaling, we're just sailing. Meet me in the upper deck where possibilities collide. We've got that high-rise energy with nowhere left to hide. A little touch deep house, a soulful trumpet flight. In the luxury of shadows, we own the urban night. Dopamine rise, open your eyes. Dopamine rise. This isn't an investment, it's a dividend of joy. Letting the high altitude rhythm become our playground toy. Portfolio is closed. Let's step out, sit. Let's step out, Sid. Strike a match, let the heavy sage smoke curve. Deconstruct the ego, paralyze the hyperactive nerve. The corporate empire is crumbling inside a single cell. I'm dropping my logic down a bottomless silent well. Billions of gigabytes melting into a pixelated dream. I flow like a ghost against the algorithmic stream. My synapses are firing in a vacuum of complete release, trading the executive power for this violent, terrifying peace. The matrix is bleeding, but the code is fading out of sight. I've got no data to process and I've got no battles to fight. Just drifting, pure, lifting. This is my nebula, my late night brain dead zone, where the gravity of the planet leaves me completely alone. Burning the strategy papers atom by glowing atom, falling straight through the floorboards into a cosmic chasm. Space dust, brain rust. Here in the vacuum, the numbers lose all of their weight. I am unlearning my name, rewriting my ultimate fate. Exhale the quarterly targets, inhale the infinite dark. We are just biological wires waiting for a random spark. The wristwatch is ticking in reverse on the mahogany shelf. I don't need a mirror tonight to recognize myself. Relativity is beautiful when you are completely hollow. There are no deadlines to meet and no instructions to follow. Let the static background noise translate the thoughts I cannot form. I'm sitting right in the center of a quiet psychological storm. It's all just vapor.
Forgiving the version of me that conquered the concrete tower, surrendering the illusion of control and the phantom of power. No eyes are required when the universe is folding in. The stardust is settling quietly underneath the skin.
We're just blending, never ending. This is my nebula, my late night brain dead zone, where the gravity of the planet leaves me completely alone. Burning the strategy papers atom by glowing atom, falling straight through the floorboards into a cosmic chasm. Space dust, brain rust. This isn't a breakdown, it's a quantum leap of the soul, letting the emptiness of the cosmos make the broken human whole. The thoughts are gone, the self is gone.
Windows up. Leaving the fluorescent deadlines in the rearview glass, watching the neon fractures bleed, melting past the dashboards, throwing indigo light on my skin, the exact coordinates where the self-healing can begin. Street lights dissolving like watercolor stains, washing off the corporate armor in these midnight rains. No passengers, no small talk, no narrative to sell, just a solitary ghost inside a mechanized shell. The city is screaming behind a soundproof wall. I'm letting every urgent notification fall, just drifting, just shifting. This is my glass aquarium, my highway sanctuary, where the ghosts of the daytime shift and vary, patching up the psyche under the dashboard glare, breathing in the freedom of the conditioned air, safe and sound, lost and found. Here in the slow lane, the chaos is a blur. I'm reclaiming the daydreamer I actually were. Exhale the expectation, inhale the dark, cruising through the suburbs like a question mark. The GPS is muted, grinning at the dash. I don't need a destination to recover from the crash. Velocity is soothing when you're driving alone. I'm ignoring the vibrations of my cellular phone. Let the wet asphalt translate the things I cannot say. I'll mend the mental fractures before the break of day. It's all just mist. That hurried through the week, drowning out the voices of the praise that I seek. No mirrors are needed when you're looking at the rain. The highway doesn't judge your silence or your pain.
We're just cruising,
we're just
losing.
This is my glass aquarium, my highway sanctuary, where the ghosts of the daytime shift and vary, patching up the psyche under the dashboard glare, breathing in the freedom of the conditioned air, safe and sound, lost and found. This isn't in isolation, it's a place to restart, letting the rhythm of the wiper smooth the edges of my heart. The streets are empty. The streets are empty. Let it burn. The Chesterfield leather is cracked like the map of my youth, pouring the liquid amber, swallowed down with the truth. Ice cubes are melting like empires built on a hill. The room is a fortress of silence where the corporate sirens are still. I watch the oil legs hanging on the crystal baccarat glass, a heavy, expensive reminder of the shadows that we let pass. We traded the loud battlefield for this absolute private domain, signing a treaty with age and masking the ghost of the pain. The ledger is closed and the signature's dry on the page. There's no one to fight anymore. When you walk off the center stage, just breathing,
smoke,
weaving. This is my sanctuary, my mahogany den, far from the desperate illusions and the hollow ambitions of men. Patching up the spirit,
sit by amber-colored sip,
with a Cuban cigar burning slow at the corner of my lip.
safe and sound,
Lost and found,
here in the shadows.
the vanity fades to a blur.
I'm forgiving the reckless,
Aggressive bastard I actually were. Exhale the political posturing, inhale the dark leaf. Underneath the smoke rings, there's a quiet executive relief. The watch on my wrist is a trophy, grinning back at the wall. But time is a luxury item when you don't care about the fall. Gravity knows my location on this heavy velvet floor. I don't answer the knocking on my iron reinforced door. Let the tobacco translate the things that my pride wouldn't say.
I'll square all the internal accounts.
Before the break of day,
It's all
just smoke. I'm forgiving the version of me from the competitive years, drowning the arrogance down with the vintage, dissolving the fears. No mirrors are needed for ego when the lightning is perfectly dim. The soul doesn't care for the structure or the cut of the ultimate trim.
we're just drifting,
Years
shifting. This is my sanctuary, my mahogany den, far from the desperate illusions and the hollow ambitions of men. Patching up the spirit, sip by amber-colored sip, with a Cuban cigar burning slow at the corner of my lip. Safe and sound,
lost and found.
this isn't an ending, it's the place where the real life begins. Letting the silence settle under our weathered old skins.
The smoke is rising,
The glass is empty,
close the book. Close the book.